Hello fantasy faithfuls and welcome to the 5th episode of Making the Leap. Today I'm looking at why Diontae Johnson is making the leap in 2020, so let's dig in. To understand Diontae Johnson better and why he's going to make the leap in 2020, I have the usual proxy receiver. He's a mix of the 6 best fantasy receivers from 2019, and his target breakdown shows how the perfect fantasy receiver should look. More targets to the short left than right, and more deep right targets than deep left. This goes hand in hand with my 2019 correlation study as well, and Johnson has some fantastic targeting trends with this. 37% of his targets coming to the short left zone and not too much to the short right. I would have loved to see some more deep right, but I'm still excited. The proxy receiver has above 70% catch rate in all short zones, but not above 80 anywhere, so this is not the most important fantasy stats. Except he should be above 60% in the short zones and around 50 in the deep zones. Johnson is fine to the left and middle, but just below in the short right zone. His deep outside zones are alright. He's better at catching where he sees more targets, which is nice. And with Ben back, the other zones will go up, as he has some of the highest deep zone completion rates in the league. Lastly, yards per catch should be high short left, of course, high short middle, and outside the numbers. These are key zones to have high production in. Here's where Johnson struggles a bit. He's above average in the short left and deep left zones, but that's it. This is a major concern for him and will damper my enthusiasm. And how about his usability? Let's take a look.
Rudolph now going deep this side. He has a man open and he's got it for the touchdown. Diontae Johnson.
In 2019, Johnson should have been started 5 times. This is a fantastic number considering the circumstances with the quarterback situation. It's the same amount as John Brown and Jarvis Landry. And looking more at John Brown and the usability charts for Diontae Johnson, we see similarities. Even if Brown has spikes that go way higher than Johnson's, if he can have 2-3 peak weeks next year, he can get to Brown's level in fantasy for sure. Looking at his floor and ceiling, we will see that he is in the range of mid-level receivers with upside. Johnson finished his first season with a PPR floor of 3.3 points and a ceiling of 16.8. That is a decent start for a guy playing with a backup quarterback. He's very similar to Robbie Anderson and again John Brown. With him being close to them with the situation he was in, I believe he has more upside with a better quarterback. Lastly, a look at Tyler Boyd's numbers. This is where I think we have a chance to see Johnson end up at the end of 2020. A big leap, but not into the top 15. That is a little bit too high in my opinion.
Shallow cross underneath. Diontae Johnson running free. Inside the 10. Cuts back. Touchdown Pittsburgh.
Looking deeper, we have his touchdown rate, which is alright. He's 0.2% above the league average, so nothing crazy, but he's also above to where you can feel safe. In the red zone, he was a bit underused, but the Steelers weren't there too many times. 7 targets, 1 touchdown, and 1 first down, but a 100% catch rate inside the 10 is nice, and almost 16% of the team's red zone targets is also pretty decent. It isn't really on his strong side though. I don't expect huge changes, even with Roethlisberger back. If we compare him to Juju Smith-Schuster's first year in the league, it is night and day. Juju had Ben, but the play trends don't really match up at all.
Few options there. You either go for the end zone or you look for something out of bounds. Pittsburgh looking for it all. Over the shoulder grab, Diontae Johnson.
Lastly, we have to figure out how many targets he will see in 2020. So first, the Steelers pass catchers will have roughly 580 targets to share between them for the next year by the usual Pittsburgh standards. With the competition on the team, Johnson will see a good chunk of this. They have Juju, James Washington, and Lance McDonald. Not that incredible stiff competition in my opinion. But the best part is Big Ben coming back, as he's the most accurate quarterback in the short left zone and deep left zone, zones where Johnson was heavily targeted in. As long as he can stay healthy and has his mind on football, he will be a huge improvement for Johnson. So if we're starting at his 92 targets, he doesn't have that much competition for them, bringing him at least 1 more target per game. He will benefit a ton from having Roethlisberger back, so at least 14 more with that in mind. That brings him to a total of 122 targets, which I think is enough for him to make the leap. Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.